In today's fast-paced world, where our lives seem to be on constant display through social media, we're often caught in a cycle of seeking validation and sharing almost every aspect of our personal lives. It's like no matter how much we achieve, how many likes or follows we get on social media, there's this persistent void, a hunger for something more, something deeper, that those external validations just can't seem to fill. This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes into play, offering us a lifeline in the tumultuous sea of our daily lives. Imagine for a moment living a life where your happiness and peace aren't tied to the next promotion, the next purchase, or what someone else thinks of you. A life where you find contentment and joy in the simplicity of being, where you're not swayed by the highs and lows that come with seeking external approval. Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time, teaches us exactly that. It shows us how to build a fortress of tranquility within ourselves, teaching us that true power lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering our inner selves. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Stoicism, exploring how its teachings can help us navigate the challenges of modern life. We'll uncover the secrets of living a fulfilled life, not by adding more to it, but by appreciating what we already have. We'll learn how to detach our well-being from the clutches of the external world and anchor it within, creating a source of peace and stability that no external force can shake. So, if you're tired of the relentless pursuit of more, if you're seeking a way to live more authentically and find true happiness, then you're in the right place. Join me as we explore how to apply the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to our modern lives, transforming the way we live, think, and interact with the world around us. Let's embark on this journey together, discovering how to live not just any life, but a good life, according to the Stoics. Stay tuned, because this might just be the perspective shift you've been looking for. And before we dive in, don't forget to share this video with friends who could use a dose of Stoic wisdom. Stick around for the whole journey without skipping any part, because every moment of this video is a step towards reclaiming your peace and happiness. Stoicism, at its core, teaches us about the beauty of modesty. Now, I'm not just talking about modesty in the way we dress or speak, but a deeper kind of modesty. It's about keeping some parts of our life just for ourselves, not feeling the need to broadcast every success, every failure, or every moment of our lives to the world. It's a reminder that not every thought, action, or achievement needs to be put on display. The tranquility Stoicism talks about isn't found in the applause or the approval of others. It's not about how many likes or shares we get. Instead, it's about mastering our inner selves, about finding peace in who we are and how we choose to live our lives, irrespective of external validation. It's kind of liberating when you think about it, right? The idea that true freedom and peace come from living in accordance with our own values, not the fleeting and often fickle recognition that comes from outside. Marcus Aurelius, who had every achievement you could think of, yet he found value in the quiet, in the modesty of the mind. He understood that true contentment comes from within, not from external validation. Stoics believed in the power of self-mastery. They practiced self-control, discipline, and were proponents of living a life aligned with one's own values and principles. They saw external recognition for what it often is, a temporary boost that fades away, leaving us chasing after the next one. Stoicism invites us to break that cycle, to find contentment and satisfaction in our own judgments and actions. Now, why is this so revolutionary? Well, in a world that constantly pushes us to seek more, to be more, and to show more, Stoicism whispers, be content with who you are and what you have. It encourages us to look inward for validation rather than outward. It teaches us that the opinions of others, while they may matter to a degree, should not dictate how we feel about ourselves or the choices we make. Imagine living a life where your happiness isn't tied to someone else's approval, a life where you're free to pursue your passions and interests without worrying about how it'll be perceived by others. This is the kind of freedom and peace that Stoicism offers, a peace that comes from knowing you're living true to yourself, aligned with your own values and principles. So, as we navigate through the complexities of modern life, let's take a moment to reflect on these Stoic teachings. Let's consider what parts of our lives we might keep just for ourselves, what values we truly hold dear, and how we can find tranquility in the mastery of our inner selves. It's not about renouncing the world or shunning recognition entirely, but about knowing that our worth isn't dependent on it. Remember, the path to true peace and freedom begins with looking inward and cherishing the journey of self-mastery. So, let's embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and discover the joy and contentment that comes from living a life true to ourselves, anchored not in the fleeting validation from the outside world, but in the enduring values and principles that guide us from within. Picture your life as a beautiful, sprawling garden. Now, in this garden, you're planting seeds of joy, ambition, dreams, and personal growth. It's a pretty exciting endeavor, right? But here's a thought that often gets overlooked. Not all these seeds need to be on display for the whole world to see. You see, some seeds, some dreams and aspirations, they thrive and grow best in the quiet, nurtured away from the constant gaze and the sometimes too curious eyes of the world. This is what Stoicism teaches us about discretion. It's this beautiful, wise practice of being selective about what we share with the world and what we choose to nurture in the privacy of our own inner garden. Now, why is this important, you might ask? Well, in our share everything culture, there's this unspoken pressure to broadcast every single achievement, every step forward, and sometimes even every setback. But Stoicism invites us to pause and consider the value of discretion. It's about recognizing that some aspects of our personal growth and journey are sacred. They're like delicate seeds that need the right environment to take root, grow, and flourish. Think about it. When you choose wisely what to share and what to keep close to your heart, you're not just practicing discretion, you're also building and strengthening your character and resilience. It's like you're saying, not everything in my life needs validation from the outside world. I value these experiences and achievements for what they mean to me, not for the likes or comments they might generate. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This hits right at the core of what we're talking about. It's about finding contentment and joy in our own personal journey, in the seeds we choose to nurture quietly, away from the spotlight. And Seneca echoed this sentiment about the inner life. A happy life is one which is in accordance with its own nature. Isn't that beautiful? It's this idea that happiness and fulfillment come from living authentically, from nurturing our inner garden in a way that's true to who we are, not based on what we think the world expects from us. Epictetus taught us the importance of focusing on what's within our control. And really, what's more within our control than choosing what parts of our lives we share and what parts we keep for our own personal reflection and growth. So, as we move forward, let's embrace this Stoic practice of discretion. Let's be mindful and intentional about what we share and what we choose to nurture in the quiet of our own hearts and minds. By doing so, we're not just protecting our inner garden, we're allowing it the space and the privacy it needs to truly thrive. The most profound growth often happens in the quiet, away from the hustle and bustle of the world. It's in those quiet moments, tending to our garden, that we strengthen our character and build resilience. So, Let's cherish those moments. Let's nurture our dreams and ambitions with care, wisdom, and a little bit of Stoic discretion. After all, the beauty of your garden is not in how visible it is to the world, but in the joy and fulfillment it brings to you. Stoicism, at its very core, is about mastering the art of living. It's not some highbrow concept reserved for philosophers in ivory towers. It's practical, down to earth, and incredibly relevant, especially in today's fast-paced world. Self-control, according to Stoicism, is about governing our reactions, our emotions, and our desires. It's about not letting the highs make us lose our grounding or the lows plunge us into despair. It's finding that steady, calm center within ourselves from which we can navigate life's storms with equanimity. And self-sufficiency. It's not about physical or financial independence per se, but an inner resilience and completeness. It's knowing that whatever happens externally, your internal state remains unshaken because you are enough just as you are. Now, let's talk about what Stoicism teaches us regarding what we share with the world and what we keep to ourselves. This isn't about hiding away or building walls around our hearts. No, it's far more empowering than that. It's about consciously choosing what parts of our lives we open up to the public eye and what parts we nurture in the quiet spaces of our own being. It's recognizing that not every thought, victory, or challenge needs to be broadcasted, but can instead be a personal journey of growth and reflection. This doesn't mean we become secretive or closed off. Rather, it's about protecting our personal growth, allowing it to flourish without the interference of external opinions or validations. It's like nurturing a seedling in a greenhouse until it's strong enough to withstand the elements. In the same way, we nurture our personal growth in the sheltered spaces of our own minds and hearts until it's robust enough to face the world. Seneca puts it beautifully when he talks about the serenity that comes from living a life in accordance with nature, our own nature. He urges us to focus on our own journey, our own progress, without getting caught up in the noise and expectations of society. And then there's Epictetus, who reminds us that we have control over our minds and our attitudes, even when we can't control external circumstances. This empowerment comes from within, from deciding how we choose to view and interact with the world around us. And let's not forget Carl Jung, who, although comes from a different philosophical tradition, echoed the Stoic sentiment when he talked about looking inward. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. It's a powerful reminder that our true journey is an inward one, and it's this journey that shapes a fulfilling life. So, as we navigate through the complexities of life, let's keep these Stoic principles close to our hearts. Let's practice self-control by managing our reactions and emotions, cultivate self-sufficiency by finding completeness within ourselves, and choose wisely what we share and what we nurture privately. By doing so, we're not withdrawing from the world, but engaging with it on our own terms, with a grounded sense of who we are and a clear vision of the life we want to lead. Remember, the journey to a fulfilling life is not about the destination, but about how we travel the path. Let's take the wisdom of Stoicism as our guide, steering us toward a life marked not by what we accumulate externally, but by the richness of our internal world. Here's to living a life that's truly well lived, anchored in the timeless teachings of Stoicism. The Stoic sages had this profound understanding that not every part of our lives was meant for public consumption. They cherished the secrets, the personal victories, and the lessons they learned in the quiet moments of reflection. It's like they were telling us that there's a sacredness to our experiences that doesn't need validation from the outside world to be meaningful. When you keep some achievements and lessons to yourself, you're not diluting their essence with every like, share, or comment. Instead, you're allowing them to simmer and brew within you, enriching your soul and shaping your character in ways that external validation never could. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars and see yourself running with them." It's this idea of finding beauty and meaning in your experiences without needing to broadcast them. Seneca wisely pointed out that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This could be interpreted as a caution against the anxiety and dissatisfaction that can come from constantly comparing our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reels on social media. By choosing what to share and what to keep to ourselves, we protect the authenticity of our experiences. Epictetus encourages us to focus on what's in our control. Our thoughts, our reflections, and how we choose to internalize our experiences are ours to command. By not sharing every detail of our lives, we maintain control over the narrative of our personal journey, keeping it rich and deeply rooted in our own reality rather than the perceived reality of others. Now, this isn't to say we should live isolated lives or shy away from sharing moments that bring us joy. Aristotle talked about the human being as a social animal, emphasizing the importance of community and connection. It's about finding that balance, right? Sharing experiences that foster connection and growth, while also cherishing the personal milestones and lessons that are meant just for you. Plato would probably argue that the most perfect experiences of our lives are those that remain unspoiled by external opinions, those that we keep close to our hearts. These experiences contribute to the ideal version of our lives that we strive towards, and if we bring in a psychological perspective, Carl Jung would likely nod in agreement with the Stoics on the importance of introspection. He said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." It's this inward journey, often kept private, that truly shapes us. As we navigate through the noise and the constant push to share our lives online, let's remember the Stoic wisdom of discretion and discernment. Let's cherish the personal victories, the quiet lessons, and the moments of sadness and joy that make up the rich tapestry of our lives. By doing so, we ensure that we're living with depth, not just on the surface. We ensure that the essence of our experiences remains pure, untainted, and profoundly ours. In this beautiful journey of life, let's hold some treasures close to our hearts, allowing them to shape us in ways only the unseen and unshared can. After all, it's the depth of our experiences, not their visibility, that truly enriches our lives. We're living in a world that's on a never-ending broadcast, urging us to showcase every single achievement, every milestone, no matter how big or small. But let's pause for a moment and explore a different path. Stoicism offers us a sanctuary from the relentless demand to display and perform. It's like finding a serene oasis in the midst of a bustling market. Stoicism teaches us to cherish and appreciate the beauty behind our accomplishments without the need for external validation. It encourages us to quietly dive into the deep waters of our soul, to engage in a kind of introspection that's both profound and transformative. You see, Stoicism isn't concerned with the applause we receive or the accolades we accumulate. It's not about the number of likes, shares, or comments our achievements garner on social media. Instead, Stoicism is about the journey inward, about the continuous evolution of our character and spirit. It's about understanding that the most significant battles, the ones that truly matter, aren't fought in the public arenas of our lives, but in the silent, often overlooked landscapes of our spirits. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This profound statement encapsulates the essence of Stoicism. It's a reminder that true contentment and fulfillment come from within, from the quality and depth of our inner dialogue, not from the fleeting and often superficial approval of the external world. Seneca emphasized the importance of focusing on our own journey and growth. He believed that life is best lived when we're not constantly seeking the spotlight, but rather embracing the quiet, reflective moments that shape our character. Seneca's wisdom teaches us that the real markers of success are found in the resilience of our spirit and the integrity of our actions, not in the applause that fades as quickly as it comes. And then there's Epictetus, who famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of Stoicism, this can be interpreted as an invitation to listen more to our inner voice and to the lessons life teaches us in silence. Epictetus urges us to embrace the introspective journey, to focus on personal growth and self-awareness that quietly unfolds away from the public eye. But Stoicism doesn't mean we turn our backs on the world or reject the joy of sharing our lives with others. Instead, it offers a balanced perspective. Think about Aristotle's idea of the golden mean, finding that perfect balance between excess and deficiency. Stoicism guides us to find that balance between sharing our lives and cherishing the private journey of self-discovery and evolution. It's about recognizing that while it's wonderful to celebrate achievements with others, our self-worth and progress shouldn't be tethered to external validation. Our most profound accomplishments and the essence of who we are, becoming, unfold in the quiet introspection and continuous evolution of our character. As we navigate this world that constantly urges us to display and perform, let's remember the Stoic invitation to appreciate the beauty behind our accomplishments, to quietly dive into the deep waters of our soul. Let's embrace the journey of introspection and continuous evolution, understanding that the most authentic and meaningful battles are fought and won in the silent landscapes of our spirits. Let's live a life that's not defined by external triumphs, but by the richness of our inner world, the strength of our character, and the depth of our spirit. This is the path to true fulfillment, a journey that Stoicism invites us to embark on, a journey that transforms us from within, quietly and profoundly. So, how do we apply Stoicism in our everyday lives? It teaches us about the delicate dance between what we choose to share with the world and the parts of ourselves we choose to nurture in solitude. It's this balance that leads to true growth. Imagine your life as a book. Not every chapter of your story needs to be read aloud for it to hold significance. Some chapters are just for you, and they contribute to your character in ways that public chapters cannot. This balance isn't about building walls around your heart or hiding away from the world. Far from it. It's about creating a sacred space for yourself, a space where you can be honest about your mistakes and celebrate your victories, big and small. It's in this space that you can truly reflect on your journey, learn from your experiences, and make decisions on how best to move forward. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is a powerful reminder that our growth often happens internally, in how we process and respond to the world around us. It's about exercising control over our reactions and emotions, choosing to focus on what truly matters. Seneca emphasized the importance of learning from our experiences. He believed that life is our best teacher, and by reflecting on our personal journey, we gain wisdom. This process of reflection is deeply personal and doesn't always need to be shared with the world. It's in the quiet moments of contemplation that we often find the most profound insights about ourselves. Epictetus taught us the value of focusing on what's within our control. Applying this to our lives means recognizing that while we can't control the opinions or actions of others, we can control how much of ourselves we share and how deeply we engage in personal reflection. It's in understanding and applying this control that we find peace and direction. So how do we bring this Stoic balance into our everyday lives? It starts with mindfulness, being aware of our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactions. It's about asking ourselves why we feel the need to share certain things and what we hope to gain from it. Are we seeking validation, or are we looking to genuinely connect with others? Protecting our space means giving ourselves permission to keep some experiences just for us, to treasure them and learn from them without the filter of external approval. It means being comfortable with not having every aspect of our lives on display and finding joy in the journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Applying Stoicism is also about being intentional in our actions and decisions. It's choosing paths that align with our values and principles, even if they're not the most popular or understood by everyone. It's having the courage to live authentically, guided by the wisdom of our reflections and the strength of our convictions. In our everyday lives, let's strive to find that Stoic balance. Let's create and protect our space for reflection, learning to appreciate the quiet victories and lessons that shape us. Remember, true growth and fulfillment come from within, from the balance we maintain between the external world and our internal landscape. Let's embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, using it as a compass to navigate the complexities of life. Let's find strength in our minds, peace in our reflections, and joy in the journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. This is how we apply Stoicism in our everyday lives, finding balance, growth, and fulfillment along the way. As we bring our journey through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to a close, remember this: in the quiet moments of solitude, away from the world's constant noise, lies the path to our truest selves. It's there, in the silent dialogue with our innermost thoughts, that we discover the strength, peace, and authenticity we've been seeking. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a beacon guiding us toward living with intention, resilience, and harmony. It offers us a path to living more authentically and peacefully. It teaches us that the most profound achievements and the deepest growth often happen in solitude, away from the prying eyes of the world. By embracing the Stoic practice of discretion, we can navigate life with more focus, balance, and fulfillment. So, as you move forward, carry with you the lessons learned, not as mere concepts, but as the very essence of your daily life. Embrace the Stoic way and watch as your life transforms, not because the world around you changes, but because you do, from the inside out. Let's not just chase after fleeting moments of happiness. Let's build a foundation of lasting fulfillment and tranquility.